Assalamu alaikum. Students, we will start our discussion on the special traumatology, and among the special traumatology topics, the most important, significant, fascinating is the death due to asphyxia. Death due to asphyxia, not only the most interesting topic in forensic medicine, but sometimes it proves to be most difficult to establish the manner and cause of death. We will proceed our discussion as per our undergraduate protocol. We start with the definitions, then we will, after the basic knowledge of anatomy, pathology, physiology, biochemical changes in asphyxia, we will proceed with the classification of asphyxia, and then we will discuss each and every category falling within the domain of the mechanical asphyxia. So, definition: asphyxia, it means interference with the process of transfer of oxygen to the lungs. It means interference with the process of transfer of oxygen to the lungs. Literally, asphyxia means pulseless. The term used in comparison with asphyxia is the anoxia. It means interference with oxygenation of the tissues or absence of oxygen in the blood. Total absence of oxygen in the blood is anoxia, whereas lack of oxygen in the blood is hypoxia. We will further elaborate the term anoxia. It is of four types: anoxic anoxia, anemic anoxia, stagnant or circulatory anoxia, and histotoxic anoxia. Anoxic anoxia is the condition where oxygen cannot gain access to bloodstream. For example, mechanical asphyxia, and within the mechanical asphyxia, there is hanging, strangulation, throttling, choking, suffocation, and smothering. Then there is environmental asphyxia. And third category in the anoxic anoxia is the stoppage of respiratory movement, either due to the paralysis of the respiratory center in the brainstem, or paralysis of the respiratory muscles, or due to the traumatic asphyxia when a person buried under the a heavy debris due to the fall of a roof, etc., or stampede during the Hajj, or stampede when the crowd disturbs due to some effect in a football match, and that stampede result in the stoppage of the movements of the respiratory muscles, leading to anoxic anoxia. Anemic anoxia. To understand anemic anoxia, you have to know the definition of anemia, that is deficiency in the number of RBCs or in the amount of hemoglobin, or there is decrease of the capacity of the hemoglobin to carry the oxygen. So inefficiency of blood to carry oxygen in sufficient quantity for the tissues is anemic anoxia, either due to the deficiency of less number of RBCs or less amount of hemoglobin, or due to the inefficiency of hemoglobin to carry oxygen to the tissues, for example in carbon monoxide poisoning. Stagnant or circulatory anoxia, the most common example is the hemorrhage. When there is profuse hemorrhage, there is no blood within the blood vessels, and no oxygen is carried to the tissues. Histotoxic anoxia, in that case, blood oxygen is available in the blood, but it cannot be utilized by tissues due to the four effects, and on the basis of four effects, this histotoxic anoxia is subclassified into extracellular histotoxic anoxia, pericellular histotoxic anoxia, substrate histotoxic anoxia, metabolic histotoxic anoxia. Extracellular histotoxic anoxia, the tissue oxygen systems of the body are poisoned. For example, cytochrome oxidase enzyme system is not is destroyed in cyanide poisoning. Several other cellular enzyme systems are depressed by the hypnotics and anesthetic drugs. So the oxygen is available in the bloodstream, but the enzyme systems of the body are destroyed or made inefficient or depressed, so the oxygen cannot be carried into the cells. Pericellular histotoxic anoxia, here oxygen cannot gain access inside the cell because of decrease in permeability of cell membrane, and lipid soluble anesthetic agents like chloroform and halothane reduces the permeability of the cell membrane. So their poisoning causes pericellular histotoxic anoxia. Substrate histotoxic anoxia, in that case there is insufficient foodstuff for efficient metabolism by the cell. For example, in hypoglycemia. Then metabolic histotoxic anoxia, the end products of cellular metabolism cannot be removed from the cell. They accumulate inside the cell, leading to the metabolic histotoxic anoxia. Examples are uremia and carbon dioxide poisoning. I will skip that slide. I will add a photograph with that slide and will then demonstrate it in the next lecture. However, its photograph is given in the book of the forensic medicine, the legal practice of forensic medicine, in the written by the Gradwell, and it is present in the library of King Edward Medical University. We then proceed with the classification of asphyxia. Basically, asphyxia is classified into 5 main categories: mechanical asphyxia, pathological asphyxia, toxic asphyxia, iatrogenic asphyxia, environmental asphyxia. Mechanical asphyxia, this classification is based on basically the etiology. In the mechanical asphyxia, the air passages are blocked either from within or from without, by mechanical means. For example, by means of a ligature, by means of hands, by elbow, by foot, by thrusting cloth in the mouth and nostril of the persons. Pathological asphyxia, where transfer of oxygen is prevented by disease of upper respiratory tract, for example carcinoma of larynx. Toxic asphyxia, where uptake of oxygen is prevented by poisonous substances, for example industrial diseases, cyanide poisoning, carbon monoxide poisoning. Iatrogenic asphyxia, it is mainly associated with anesthesia as a result of doctor's negligence, halothane toxicity in general anesthesia. Environmental asphyxia, there are two conditions: either the oxygen is not present or there is deficiency of oxygen in the inspired air, for example, in the higher altitude, when the atmosphere is vitiated, for example, in deep wells, and there is exposure to sheer gases. That is called environmental asphyxia. Asphyxia, the sixth category is asphyxia due to stoppage of respiratory movements. External compression of chest or abdominal wall interfering with respiratory movements, for example, traumatic asphyxia, paralysis of respiratory center in electrocution and in certain poisoning cases. Now, to understand the death due to asphyxia, its mechanism of death, manner of death, cause of death, signs and symptoms, autopsy findings, it is mandatory to have a basic knowledge of anatomy of the neck concerning with mechanical asphyxia. You should know the anatomy of the root of tongue, hide bone, thyroid cartilage, laryngeal air space, carotid arteries, vagus nerve, jugular veins, respiratory, as shown in the picture. You should know the bony landmarks, anatomical landmarks, angle of mandible, level of hide bone, laryngeal prominence, cricoid cartilage, clavicular head of sternocleidomastoid muscle, sternal head of sternocleidomastoid muscle, jugular notch. Anteriorly and posteriorly, you must have the knowledge of the anatomical landmark of external occipital protuberance, mastoid process, semispinalis capitis muscle, trapezius muscle, spinous process of seventh cervical vertebra, spinous process of first thoracic vertebra. Hide bone, you must have the major in your mind, the major features of the anatomy of the hide bone. It has a body, it has a greater carno, it has a lesser carno, it is attached with thyroid cartilage through the thyroid membrane, and there is a superior hardno of the thyroid cartilage, there is thyroid notch, and then there is a lamina of thyroid cartilage, there is oblique line, then there is cricothyroid ligament, conus elasticus, inferior horn of thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage, and the first tracheal ring. Basically, you must know the common carotid artery path, then its division into the internal carotid artery and external carotid artery, and its relationship with the vagus nerve and the jugular veins. Then you must have in your mind the nasopharynx, oropharynx, laryngeal part of pharynx, position of the esophagus and trachea. That relationship is very important. That is a common carotid artery. In the carotid sheath there is vagus nerve. There is subdivision of the common carotid artery into internal external carotid artery at the level of upper border of thyroid cartilage, and then there is a relationship with the jugular vein, internal jugular vein. This is the hide bone, that is the body, that is the greater carno, this is the lesser carno. Now, pathology of asphyxia. Brain cells are most sensitive cell to the supply of the oxygen. When there is decreased oxygen supply to the brain cell, there is then sodium and potassium replacement, and intracranial water retention, cell dies and replaced by glial tissue. Capillaries are next most sensitive to decreased oxygen concentration. As a result, there is vasodilatation. Then there is stasis of blood flow. Then there is capillovenous engorgement, and with that there is increased pulmonary capillary permeability. Due to that, there is transition of the fluid into the interstitial space, leading to the pulmonary edema, increased capillovenous engorgement leading to the increased intravenous pressure that lead to the capillary damage, and again there is leakage into the interstitial tissue that increase capillary permeability, and that capillary damage both lead to the formation of petechial hemorrhages. As a result of capillary damage, there is release of fibrinolysin from damaged capillary endothelium and leading to the postmortem fluidity of the blood. So the general non-specific pathological changes of asphyxia are cyanosis, congestion, pulmonary edema, petechial hemorrhages, and postmortem fluidity of blood. These are the 5 signs. These are termed as general non-specific pathological changes of asphyxia. These are not the pathognomonic of the asphyxia, but when they present with the specific findings of related with the mechanical asphyxia, then you can certify on autopsy the cause, manner, and mode of death easily. So capillary endothelial damage, conditions causing shock by primary endothelial damage. Pathological effects are capillary dilatation, stasis, congestion, increased capillary permeability, edema, effusion, petechial hemorrhages, fluidity of blood. When there is acute massive hemorrhage, there is decrease in blood volume, decrease in extracellular volume,